Alright, welcome back everyone. So, I found a different type of lock, like usual. Found this at a store that had just opened up today, which is August 30th, brand new to the Pittsburgh area. It's called Ollie's Discount Store. Wasn't really expecting them to have anything in the hardware section, and it turns out that they have two different type of locks. The other one I'm going to go back and buy in a couple days. This one was just a single deadbolt. It was $5.99, and I've never heard of this company, so I figured why not give it a try. You know, I'm hoping to find something that has security pins in it. You know, all these random different locks and companies that most of them I've never heard of, none of them have contained security pins, which is disappointing, but I have plenty of locks with more than security pins in it that I'm working on. So it's just, this is stuff I like to do. I just like to go around and, you know, people were like, well, why waste your money on it if it's not that good? Well, it's not just that point. It's practice for one, and then for two, you know, if somebody brings it up, oh yeah, Popular Mechanics, that's the name of this lock. Yeah, you know, I've come across that. Design House, you know, those random ass locks that you don't hear of, and you know, just to see what they're made of. You know, just because they don't contain security pins doesn't mean they're not made to, you know, tighter tolerances, therefore harder to pick. But anyway, like I said, this is called Popular Mechanics. Don't know if it has anything to do with the magazine. I believe that's what there was a science magazine called Popular Mechanics. I used to see one of my science teachers in high school in his classroom. I remember he had a subscription to it. So for $5.99, I figured, hey, why not? From what I see, it uses a Kwikset key. They had a bunch of these on the shelf, so I made sure to go and find the one that had the most challenging bitting, and that's, when I open it up, you'll see it's not bad. It's got some high-low, or some low-high-low, I should say, in the first three. So the majority of the other ones were either similar to this, or they were, you know, almost dead even across the board. So Popular Mechanics, it just says single-cylinder deadbolt, Pro Series, fits any door, yada yada yada, lifetime warranty. So let's see. Alright, got that out the way. Don't need these. Obviously don't need any of this other stuff, but just kind of like to see what I got. You know, I have boxes full of all this shit. You know, I could rekey whole apartment buildings, it feels like at this point. What's in here? Bolts. Curious to see if it says, you know, sometimes on the package it'll say pick resistant, pry resistant. And it just looks like it's a template. Yep, nothing about the level of security. So that's probably not a good sign that it's going to be security of any sort. So it's actually really nice for $5. It's satin chrome. Is that what that was? Satin or satin nickel. Definitely nice and shiny. So you can see the Popular Mechanics is engraved into their logo, or their logo is engraved onto the housing unit. Kwikset keyway. Kwikset KW1 keyway and key. But if you look at that bitting, that low high low right there, I'm hoping that's going to be a challenge. That's why I picked this one. You know, that's another thing. You always want to go ahead and challenge yourself when you're if you have the choice. You know, if you can see the key, I always try. That's the problem with online shopping, is you don't know what keys you're going to get. Sometimes a lot of eBay sellers or whatever, they just show a generic stock photo. You know, it doesn't hurt to challenge yourself. Like, even for advanced pickers, sometimes this low, high, low can be enough to piss them off or screw them up, you know. That second pin right here is hard to get to because it's in between two longer pins. Now, that's why they make different types of picks. That's why I have so many out over here and then in here. You know, they're all different. None of them are identical. They're all made for different cuts. Peterson, his hook 3, 4, and 5 are really made for those high cuts. That's why I ended up buying them, and you know, I use them all the time. So let's see what this is about. If it'll focus. It's so shiny it may not focus. Popular mechanics. So far operation seems smooth. A little bit, but it's not bad. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get this thing picked. And there again is the bidding. So let's go ahead, since we're at the 5-minute mark, and put this thing in our vise. Gotta loosen this up. Tilt you guys up. Alright. Oh, sorry guys. Totally dropped the camera. Not dropped it, but the tripod decided to move down. Alright, we zoomed in, we're focused. Alright. So, got my hook number 3. I might need my hook number 4 and my regular hook. Guessing we're gonna go top of the keyway. No, let's try bottom of the keyway. Let's try that first. Alright, I'm gonna start off with my hook number 3. Zoom you guys out just a tad bit. Alright, here we go. Okay, that was it. I'm sorry guys. I'm disappointed, man. I was really hoping for a challenge, you know. Well, there you go. There's your Popular Mechanics Pro Series. Lifetime warranty, $5.99 at Ollie's. But if you buy it at their competitors, it's supposedly $10. So if you're paying $5 or $10, don't buy this. Don't. I mean, yes, I have some experience, almost a year now picking locks, but it should not be that easy. I mean, that bidding on the key, I was really hoping, even if there were no security pins. Look at this. Look at that high-low. You know, that... Disappointed. But now I can say, hey, yes, I picked one with some tough bidding. Well, but I thought it was going to be tough bidding. Alright, let's see what we got in here. Definitely going to take a good bet, or take an educated guess and say that there are not going to be security pins in this thing. Let's make sure we don't lock her up here. Oh, doesn't matter. We have the key. Opened it brand new. Picked it. I don't have any reason to lie. Now, if I was picking a multi-lock MT5 Plus, yeah, maybe there'd be some reason. Don't know. I've almost got the interactive picked. Okay, let's see. Tailpiece, retaining pin. There's a little spring, so we could put this guy back together because, you know, hey, you never know when somebody may need a lock, and I have one that I can throw some security pins in. Like, I ended up having to rekey a lock for my dad, and you know, when I took it apart, it was just a generic Schlage, and there were no security pins in there, so I threw some serrated and some spools in there, made it as bump proof and pick proof as I possibly could with the room I had to work with. But alright, so here is our core. Nothing special about it. Not even room for a 6th pin, just 5 standard pins. So let's go ahead and see what we got in there. Let's tilt this down just like that so we can see our pinning mat, and then when I'm pulling the driver pins out. So pin 1, they're just regular Kwikset pins. And I'll show you this here in a second after I get this 5th pin out. So this is where I thought my problem would be, because if you look at the pins, this is pin 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can see how long this pin is, how short the second one is, and how long the 3rd pin is. So in the lock, you know, it makes it harder. This one would be sitting up higher, you know, and it makes it harder to get to this pin when it's in between, you know, these longer pins like that. It makes it hard to angle your pick without messing up, you know, the other pins, if they've already been set or not, and whatnot. And I was really hoping, that's why I grabbed the hardest bitting I could find, which there was a couple that they looked just like this in the front. It was low, high, low, and then, you know, like just identical. I mean, they were probably just slightly different cuts, but the majority of them were just almost straight across the board, all higher pins. None of them were low. So I was really hoping that that would at least trip me up a little bit. But all right, driver pin 1. I'm not going to show them all, just show that it's standard for now, if it'll focus. So that's just the standard. I'm not going to show anything else unless it nice springs. Driver pin 2 is just a regular driver pin. Oh, where did driver pin 3 fell out. It was regular. Where's driver pin 2 spring? Was there not a spring? Okay, I'm missing the spring. Oh no, it's in there. Alright, we'll worry about that later. That's not really important. Driver pin 4 is regular. And there's its spring. Yeah, they really got some nice springs in there. I'm surprised. I mean, and there goes driver pin 5. Again, they're all just regular driver pins. So, really disappointed. I mean, was really hoping for something with some security pins. I'm not even going to waste the time trying to show you guys this. I mean, you know, taking you off the tripod. Obviously that one spring just fell, the other one's stuck in the lock, but you know, all you have are just regular key pins, and these are just plain non-security driver pins. So I was really hoping that this right up here would trip me up. Wasn't a challenge this time. So anyway, guys, that's it. As far as the giveaway, I think I've narrowed it down to, you know, there's plenty of things I'm going to give away. Just to as long as I'm picking locks and doing this as a hobby, you know, I just want to give back. And I think I decided on the one, so I'm going to make a video about that and things related to it, and then I'll, you know, tell you. So I'm going to try and make that video probably tomorrow, and then I'll probably order the item that I'm going to give away, because I don't have an extra one. So, but well, technically I do, but you'll see when the video comes. So I think I'm going to announce that in the next day or so. Yeah, definitely. I think that's actually going to be one of the next couple videos I'll make. So yeah. Alright, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. You know, unfortunately this wasn't too good. If you ever come across it, I mean, if you're a beginner picker, like, you know, a lot of these locks, I feel like it's the same thing. If you're a newer picker, then yes, they all make good prizes. You know what, even if you're an advanced picker, it never hurts just to go back to the basics sometimes. You know, people have asked me how I practice locks, and I'll touch on that more, but when I first started, all I had was, you know, 4 padlocks. I had like 2 masters and 2 brinks, and I picked even though I could pick it to control, which if you're newer, it means, you know, every lock has a binding order with pins, and after a while you figure it out. You know which pins need to be picked in which order for the lock to open. Hence, that's why it's called pick to control. It's basically like your pick is a key, because you go right in, boom, 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 and the lock's open super quick. And you know, even though you can pick a lock to control, that's how I was practicing until I was able to continue buying locks. I practiced every night. I would take all the locks down, and I would just pick every single lock over and over and over and over. Even if it was a lock, there was you know, when I started throwing locks in there that I couldn't get picked, you know, I still tried. You know, I sat there for an hour and tried over and over and over. You know, read different tips, maybe watch the videos to see if you never know what somebody may say different than somebody else. You know, so don't just not watch all the videos out there. You know, there is a lot of great information out there. You just never know who's going to say it in a way that makes sense to you, or explain it, or show something just a tad different. So, but practice, man, that's all it is. It was just straight sitting down every night and practicing. You know, some nights I didn't get to practice, which sucks, but you know, when you get up to this point where you're trying to pick, well, that's a multi-lock original, it's kind of challenging because of the warding. But you know, when you get to these locks like this ASA V10 Twin Series, and it's just so ridiculously hard, you know, I'm not quite ready for it, but I still practice. You know, the sidebars and the tight warding right here, you know, it's crazy. But just don't get discouraged. You know, it's a fun hobby. Definitely helped me through a lot of shit. So anyway, I'm done rambling on. Thank you guys for watching, and just give it a couple videos. It may not be the very next video, but I'm going to try and make it, and then that'll be the giveaway when I make that video. I don't want to announce it till I show it in a video, so just give me a couple days, if that. Shouldn't even be long. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you on the next video. Popular Mechanics Kwikset style lock. Security wise, poop. You know, pick it up if you find one cheap enough. It doesn't hurt. You know, that's another thing I'm stressed. All these locks that I keep buying, I buy them real cheap. You know, I'm not gonna pay top dollar for these locks. I'm just picking once or twice or whatever. But you know, I have plenty of locks now. If somebody wants it, you know, me to make it challenging, throw some security pins in, you know, I'll ship it out to them, something like that, you know. But alright, anyway, I'm done. Practice. That's basically what the whole rant was about, I guess. Yeah. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.